So I'm rolling plus heart.
Great.
Free water for dunking.
Hey, showing him with a match. Oh.
We are rejoining Pim and Dirk for another week of adventuring.
Wow. We're getting into some like dangerous stuff. Like,
yeah, not
main
before.
Questy.
Nothing was dangerous before.
Everything was dangerous before because we've come like pretty close a couple of times to to like things not being so great.
Dirk had a rough day that one time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Took us a while to get you back to speed, but we left our adventurers last episode. We embarked. We still don't know the name of this town.
This town?
We don't know the name of it.
Let's
just like make up a name right now.
Sure.
Let's make up a name now.
We never asked around.
The mine? I mean, it is just the mine.
Because what would look more conspicuous than going, what's the name of this place again?
The High Mount Mine.
Love it. High Mount Mine.
Let's just say that the barkeep told us the name or we found out the name or something. We just know it's called the High Mount Mine.
We saw a sign.
They basically stabled their horses. They decided to blend in as workers. Workers being injured workers, filling their buckets with water.
Yeah.
This is just Pim and Dirk.
Yep.
Dirk filled 2 buckets with water and went around distributing refreshment to the workers.
As an ingenious scheme to conceal his spear.
Precisely.
His weapon.
Tessa and Wynn, on the other hand, again, we split the party into 2 and 2. They went north and they discovered the main operation, which was filling carts that are topped with a burlap cover full of a substance they didn't know about, but we found out through Pim and Dirk is Starforged Black Iron. Of course, the entire mine is dedicated to this one thing that is Starforged Black Iron.
Yep.
However, interestingly enough, they are loading up these buggies that are drawn by 2 horses, and they are being distributed on a road in one location, and they're coming back empty.
They figure out a plan to smuggle Pim and Dirk and onto one of these carts, and from that point, Wynn and Tessa would subdue some of the black-cowled zealots that were piloting these wagons.
Yeah.
As a scheme to get them into wherever this hideout is that they've been taking this stuff.
And this is happening tonight.
Yes.
And that is where we've left our adventurers. So they are at the inn. And I think that they've decided to split up again.
Yeah.
Let's shift the focus because we know that Pim and Dirk are just going to try to find a cart and get in it.
Find a big box and jump inside.
Right. So let's shift our focus to Tessa and Wynn.
Cool.
All right. So like, I don't know, the last time we saw these zealots, and let's say that they're outside and it is 6 p.m. The sun is setting. Soon they will be under cloak of darkness. The last time we saw those zealots was like closer to the entrance of like, the like, I don't know, distribution area. So like, should we go back there and see if we can find them, or is that like too obvious?
Let's do it. That's where they were. I haven't seen them anywhere else in this entire operation. I'm not sure how much they touch the rest of the mine. They could just be in charge of loading it up and shipping it out.
Okay, great. So we head there. It takes them an hour on foot because, again, this mine is enormous.
Yeah.
It is an acre long. It's huge and deep. So it takes them an hour to walk all the way around the perimeter of the mine. Should we ask the Oracle? Should we gather information to see if we see 2 zealots?
Love it.
Let's... I mean...
Where did my Here it is.
Because
I
I'm
keep
not gonna...
losing you.
No. Because I'm going to speculate that we know that they're at the entrance. We know that they're at, the area with all the horses and all the buggies.
Mm-hmm.
But that's going to be too easy. I mean, or rather draw too much attention. We want to be able to find two zealots that are off the beaten path.
Yep.
So let's say that we see toward the north of the mine.
Mm-hmm.
This is also, a town that is an old town and that continues to get displaced as the mouth of this mine gets wider and wider and wider.
Sure.
And so now the residential area of the mine is absolutely coming right up against this massive hole.
Oof.
And there's the dwellings and houses that
Some
are
of
very,
these
very
dwellings,
close
we
by.
even see evidence that they have had to construct scaffolding that is mobile, that is able to lift the dwelling up and move it. So literally this town is moving around where they continue to expand this mine out to.
Yeah. So let's say, maybe a couple of miles away from where the distribution center, like where this operation is happening, there is houses and residences, and it's a little bit more quiet.
Okay.
I want to ask the Oracle to
Okay.
see if we can spot two zealots out just walking.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, what sort of likelihood would you place on this?
Not extreme, like likely, but not crazily likely.
50-50.
All right, 50-50. Low, no. No, we do not
Okay.
see anyone out in the open.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna. There's a lot of alleys. There are a lot of people that live in this town in service of the mine, working at the mine.
Yeah.
So let's just start walking.
Okay. Great.
I don't know. Let's just check some alleys and stuff and see if we can see some people.
Wynn doesn't want to because we've sort of made little stat blocks for these two characters. His wits are low.
Got it.
So if he's going to
I'll gather information.
Yeah. If he's going to do that, he's not going to be very good at it.
But is he down with the idea?
Absolutely is.
Okay, great. So I don't know, since you're a thief and everything, I just feel like you would be down with that idea.
I am a thief.
Yeah.
And
okay.
that is what I want to do.
I'm going to gather information as Tessa. So we should actually share with everyone the stat blocks for both of these characters.
Love it.
So Tessa's edge is 2, heart is 1, iron is 3, shadow is 1, and wits is 2.
Wynn is edge 2, heart 1, iron 1, shadow 3, wits 1.
Great.
I could have seen myself swapping his wits and his edge, but that's where we're at.
That's where we're at. No worries. Okay. So I'm going to gather information. We're going to be, we have now, with Tessa taking the lead and Wynn hanging back to sort of check behind her.
Yep.
The alleys of, the residential area district of, what's the name of this place again?
High Mount Mine.
High Mount Mine. High Mount. Great. All right, I'm going to roll +2.
Wits.
Great.
See what she sees.
Let's see what she sees. Do I roll? No. Great. We hit. Awesome. The information complicates your quest or introduces a new danger. Envision what you discover.
Moving into one of the alleyways, we see a couple of zealots. We see two figures robed in an alleyway between two buildings. And they are in the process. One of them has a blade drawn. The other is kind of holding up one of what looks familiar as the official from before, who had, you could tell by his cap.
And the barkeep.
Has a badge. The official / barkeep has a cap with a badge on it. And their interior appears to be some intense threatening.
He was at the bar,
and
then he went an hour north. Okay, great. Yes.
They
this all checks out.
or some different official.
Okay.
One
Only
of the
because he
officials.
was tending bar, and then we just left the bar.
Gotcha,
and
because
we
it's
went
the same night. So they see a different official.
Okay.
Cap has a badge on it.
Okay.
From what they've learned, that is one of the foremen or just kind of managers of the miners.
Yeah.
And 2 zealots are, from what they can see, are appearing very threatening to this person.
Yeah.
There's some interrogation, something happening.
Oh, God. Is anyone else around?
No.
Okay. Yeah. What? Okay, so like, what do we do?
Tess starts to hear like some, muffled shouting as this figure's mouth has been covered by the hand of the zealot, and the one zealot with the dagger drawn moves closer to the official.
Okay. What should we do? I think we have to do something, right? Nobody's around.
At this point, Wynn has started moving closer into the alleyway, but with controlled, slow steps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at this point, Wynn would like to enter the fray.
Okay.
Very
Wynn's gonna enter the fray.
slowly and hopefully sneakily.
Awesome.
Let me see here.
Killer.
Yeah, so this is going to be... He's trying to get him before this guy gets hurt.
Yep, so that's plus shadow.
Great.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, baby. Slowly taking measured steps, sneaking around some crates and other things that are left in this alleyway.
Yeah.
He's trying to unnoticed sneak up on the first zealot.
Got it.
That's a strong hit for Wynn.
Awesome.
So he's going to take... I'm going to start recording momentum for these guys, too.
Great. Yep.
So he's at +4.
Great.
So he...
You have initiative.
Yep. So Wynn sneakily draws slowly his short sword and moves into position to where he has crouched down next to a big crate box. And on the other side of him is the zealot and the other zealot and the officer.
Okay.
And I think he's just going to move to take a strike on the zealot with the weapon in his hand.
All right, do it.
Okay, here we go. This will just be, I guess, iron, which he isn't the best at. I wish I gave him combat
Well, you
talents.
could throw your sword at range.
Yeah,
Is your edge better?
No, his shadow is the best.
You have a 1 in edge and iron?
No, I've got 2s.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
So this will be, yeah, this is just a turn and stab.
All right. Go for it.
Right on.
All right. Weak hit.
That's a weak hit. So this is going to be,
Let's say that these 2 zealots are dangerous. So that's 2 progress per harm.
Wynn, leaping up out of the crate, takes a thrust with his short sword and hits the ribs of this one zealot with the dagger, sends him reeling backward. He inflicts 4 harm because it's a short sword. It's a weapon. But at that point, the zealot behind that's holding the officer lets him go and moves into combat with Wynn. Wynn wasn't able to disarm the first zealot because it was only a weak hit. But now he's in the fray. What does Tessa want to do?
I would say that the other zealot spins around and sees Tessa and goes after her.
Okay.
So I'm going to enter the fray.
Yep.
And I'm counting that as ambushed. So I'm going to roll plus wits. And let's do this. Weak hit.
Cool.
So great. I'm going to take initiative from that.
Okay.
And I'm going to strike. I am going to... So this zealot's coming at me. I'm going to roll... Well, it's coming at me. I'm going to say it's in close quarters. Plus iron. And so Tessa's going to attack with her spear.
Okay.
Here we go. +3.
Strong
hit, baby! Let's go! All right. I inflict +1 harm. So that is 3 whole harm
Where'd you get the +1?
because it's on a strong hit, inflict +1
Oh
harm.
my good
You retain
lord.
initiative. Were we doing this wrong the entire game?
Yeah,
We might have been.
probably.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that 6 harm?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's 2 harm and then they're dangerous.
Right. 1, 2, 3. So we're at 10 out of 10 here.
Yeah.
So Tessa takes her spear, swiftly retreats it, and goes right into the sternum, right into the viscera of this zealot. Twists, takes it out, and his intestines start spilling out, just like sausage links, just like coming out of the guy. He falls to the ground. He is absolutely incapacitated.
Yeah.
And since I have initiative, I'm going to end this fight.
Do it. You see maybe 10 feet in front of you are Wynn and the other zealot, and then the officer figure.
Yes. I'm going to roll. The fight is ended. Okay.
So what do you do? How do you end the fight?
So how did you hurt the other zealot?
I stabbed him in the side.
Stabbed him in the side. Okay. Great. They're black cloaks, so it doesn't matter if they're bloody. Which is
sure.
fine. so clearly the man that Tessa stabbed dies. He's very quickly going to die. And she makes quick use of taking the cloak off of him before it gets too bloody. And does the same with the other. So he's stabbed in the side. So I would say that Tessa then...
The other zealot begins to, seeing his current buddy get completely impaled, he tries to turn and run, but Tessa gives very quick chase to the zealot, like on the run toward the opening of the alleyway.
Nice. And I would say that she takes the blunt end of her spear and quickly, what am I trying to say? Like,
cracks him over the head with it?
Cracks him over the head in the back of it so that he is like paralyzed.
Oof.
Yeah.
So he is out cold.
He's out cold.
And the fight is
perhaps
ended.
for good. The fight is ended. She then also takes the cloak off of that zealot and hands it to Dirk.
Wynn.
Sorry.
They quickly see the 2 outfits and they begin fashioning them. And then they hear, thank you. What is going on? What is going on?
What did they want with you?
Who are you?
You don't need
who
to know
are you guys?
You don't need to know who we are. You need
You
to
just
relax.
killed them.
Yeah, I did.
You just killed them.
Yeah, I did. Relax. Look at me. Look at me.
Yeah, what?
What did they want with you? They were threatening you with a knife.
They were unhappy. They were unhappy that things weren't moving fast enough. They wanted us to speed things up, and I care about these guys. I've been working with them for years, and I can't work them to the bone. I can't work them to death. But they could have killed me.
Did they not just try to kill you?
They tried. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we did you a favor. Okay, we took care of them. No one has to know about this. They all look the same. No one has to know.
I haven't seen you 2 before. Where did you come from?
You don't need to know about us.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. And the one thing that you can do for us is keep your mouth shut and help us stow away these bodies.
Roll a compel on that.
Yep.
This guy's shook.
I would say that is inciting.
Yeah.
Do we? Because she's like, you can keep your mouth shut and you can do what we say.
It's also pretty intimidating.
Oh.
It's whatever. However you want to play it.
Where is intimidating on this though? There is no.
There isn't?
There's threaten or incite, lie or
swindle.
Charm,
I think that's what I
pacify.
meant. I didn't see
okay.
that.
Great. So I'm going to do that. Do that +3. No, I super am unsuccessful.
He is shook and just takes off.
Shoot.
Before Wynn and Tessa can do anything.
Crap. Well, we honestly have no time to lose, so
yeah, we gotta go.
Just I don't know, take these 2 bodies and let's put them in this hay bale. Okay.
Yeah, they quickly grab the zealots' bodies, now just stripped down to the loins, toss them, shut the lid on a nearby crate, hay bale that they can find.
Yeah.
And now, donning their new zealot duds.
Yeah.
They have done their part. All right. Head to the distribution center.
Yeah, sounds good. And I want to make sure that they have every single piece of this uniform on. They have their boots on. They have their gauntlets on.
Yep.
Do these zealots have masks at all? We never really established that.
I would say it would make sense that they did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they also, take their masks and put them on, and these masks are made of metal with engravings on them, and that
uncomfortable.
Like it's basically a molded face.
Yep.
But betrays no emotion whatsoever. And they wear those as well.
Cool.
And they head to the depot.
Yeah. Shifting focus now back to our dynamic duo, Pim and Dirk, who have begun to walk back into the mine. Dirk, once again, under the cover of his water pail system that he has grown so fond of, and they begin to descend.
Is the depot above on the surface? Descending. They're going down?
Well, I figured they got to get that stuff to the export depot somehow.
Right.
So it's mined, goes into probably some sort of means of loading it out from where it's mined.
Oh,
so all
I
we got to do is
see.
get into one of those crates.
Oh, right.
And then some
And it
jobber
goes up.
worker just wheels
Carts
us
it up.
out.
Got it. Okay, great. So they go down.
It's Ocean's 11, the acrobat in the safety deposit box kind
All
of
right.
situation.
So let's say we find where the Starforged Black Iron is being hauled in wheelbarrows and is being dumped into these crates. So it's at the bottom of the mine. Is that correct?
Probably.
Okay. At the bottom of the mine, then they're mining deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and they're loading up these crates. And then the crates are wheeled all the way up the scaffolding back to the surface.
Yeah.
I want to ask the Oracle, is it easy for us to just hop in one of these?
Okay.
Or
Do
are
we
there
find one
people
that's-
around?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it just like a 50-50?
Mm-hmm.
Like
It could also
my
be...
question is, are there people around?
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is there one that is
I would say it's highly likely that there is.
that there's people?
Yeah.
75. And above is yes.
75 and above, and there is no people.
No people. 75 and above is no. All right. Oh, so close.
Very close.
But there are people around. Let's say that, obviously it's one person holding the cart steady. It's one person dumping the wheelbarrow. It's another person moving the wheelbarrow back.
Yep.
And a fourth person wheeling a new wheelbarrow to the dumper.
Pim, okay. We're pretty crowded around this crate and wheelbarrow. I'm going to offer a break, right?
Right.
That should get the attention of these hardworking dudes.
Okay.
Because everybody's thirsty for Dirk.
Right.
At that point, you hop in. And I'm thinking, we have to call an audible here. You're in the crate. I'll just push it out of here.
Oh, you'll be the one to push it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Dirk walks forward. All right, who's ready for some hydration? Who's ready to dunk your head? I got some buckets for dunking. Who's got a hot head that needs to dunk?
Are you sure that we can take a break now? I mean, God.
I'm here, aren't I? And I'm not coming around for another till tomorrow.
Okay. But the
This is
foreman
the
doesn't know.
last head dunk of the night.
And all four of them go.
Yeah.
And they dunk their heads.
Should that be is that a performative? Do I need to roll a check on that? Because I guess they saw me yesterday.
Yeah.
Am I trying to compel them?
You're offering water.
Yeah.
But we can ask whether it's a good enough distraction for him to get in.
This can be my secure an advantage for your face danger.
Yeah. Perfect. I love that.
I'm going to do that.
I love that.
I'm going to do that. So this is with charm. So I'm rolling plus heart.
Great.
Free water for dunking.
Hey, showing him with a match. Oh, they super.
All of a sudden, like the 7 dwarves in the mine, you have folks popping their heads out. Hi ho! Did I hear water for dunking? Happy workers start walking out, and Dirk is the most popular man in the mine. Like, guys are like, thanks so much. Lovely to see you.
It's an amazing, and they like decide to talk. They and they turn their backs perfectly.
Yeah. It is a full water cooler at the workplace moment.
Absolutely.
So strong hit on secure an advantage. So you can either
take 1 momentum or add +1.
Take 2 momentum, or you can give a +1 add to your face danger roll.
I'm gonna get the +1.
Great.
Add for sure.
So this will be with shadow, I assume, because you're sneaking into that crate.
Or speed, agility, or precision. Because I don't really have to sneak. You're making an amazing enough distraction.
Sure.
That I think this is with speed at this point.
Cool. Just jump in.
Yeah, I'm gonna just jump in on that. Plus, I get a +1 with edge, so I'm 4 + 5.
Yeah, because you got the wolf pelt on.
This is a +5. Let's see. Strong hit
with a match.
Baby.
Back to back.
Incredible. I feel like we should get something for that.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it goes wasted. I feel like if we don't, but regardless, she gets in. I know what it is. Okay. Clearly Dirk is just the most popular guy on the office floor. All these dudes are just like crowding around him, getting some water, and Pym is so easily able to very quickly dive headfirst into one of these crates, full of Starforged Black Iron. It's very heavy.
Yeah.
So it's tough to really kind of submerge herself, but she does. And she takes the opportunity to load her pockets full of it.
Yeah.
So she, in the distraction, she fills as many of her little individual pockets as she can with Starforged Black Iron.
Yep.
Let's say she is able to pocket 6 rocks of it.
Okay.
So on top of her other one, she has 7 rocks.
Great.
Is that too many?
I don't think so. How big do you envision they are? If they're about this big, the supply.
Their pockets aren't great. Let's say 4, and then she has a 5th.
Great.
So she has 5 in her pockets. That's how we're going to use our strong hit.
Is able to just set. He's got his empty bucket swinging down. Goes, Braun, I know, and she is going to be mad at you when you get back. Hey, you're burning the candle at both ends of the wick, my friend. You better be careful. All right. I got this one, guys. I'll take this one back up.
Wow,
And
what a guy! You
Dirk,
sure did.
Dirk begins wheeling the crate back up with Pym in tow.
Pym inside.
Yep. And just with his hulking strength, he's able to push it completely himself.
All the way up. Because we scored 2 strong hits in a row, too, we're just going to say that he does it with no complication.
Yeah.
He's now on the surface side. We now have to get it. First of all, Pym, from underneath the pile of Starforged, she whispers to Dirk, "You have to draw the thing now. Don't forget to draw the thing."
Oh, yeah.
The smiling face.
Okay. He takes out his utility knife.
Divided into thirds.
So 3 phases?
No, like a pie. As if it was 3 slices of a pie.
Carves it in. Does whatever little accoutrement. And then he goes, okay. Is there room for me to hop in with... We'll decide that once we get it there.
We have to ask that was always the plan. That they both would.
Yeah. So the insignia isn't that important if Dirk's not going to hop in there.
Right.
Because they know who he is. But things have gone so well that they can probably switch up at some point.
So let's say that Dirk gets it to the depot. All right. Are we there now?
Yeah. We're here.
We're close by. No one can see you?
No.
Okay.
I'm just going to leave this. And Dirk leaves it where the minecart tracks that make it easier to roll these things stop. He leaves the crate right in front of where it's going to be loaded in.
Oh, thank you so much. I
Hey.
appreciate
Of course.
you bringing this up all the way. I thought you were
got
injured.
You got it. I'm a fast healer, and you know what? I'm an even faster worker.
Oh, great. Well, if you don't mind going to get some more water, you're really so popular around here.
For sure. More heads for Duncan.
Well, obviously your job is done here, so if you could just get back to what you were doing, that'd be great.
And I think at that moment, you hear,
We'll be taking it from here. Thank you.
and the official turns and sees two masked, hooded figures just looking directly at the
Right,
official.
all right. No need to get testy. All right. Oh,
Certainly not.
great. So, I guess me and the big guy are just gonna head back.
Yeah, we're gonna, and Dirk is now looking at the zealots, we're gonna head back.
The Hulk stays.
And he just, the official just kind of goes like, right, what you say goes. Congrats on the promotion, big guy. And he pats him on the back, and he leaves.
That was close.
Why are you not in the box? You're supposed to be in the box.
In the bags?
Box.
In the box.
She flips her mask up a little bit. Box. Dirk, you're supposed to be in the freaking box. Okay, there was a little bit of a change of plans. Also, me and my spear, now I'm seeing the size of this thing. I don't think I'm getting it. Maybe. Should I check?
All right. So, first question is anyone else around?
Let's see.
I think
My guess is no, because of how tightly wrapped we established that the zealots keep the shipping depot operation.
Okay, so but we're in a cart that is in a line to be pushed onto the buggy, right?
Yep.
So somebody has to be the buggy, the cart pusher.
Mm-hmm.
So someone is there.
Dirk will do it.
But let's say that someone is doing that right now.
Oh, okay, sure.
Question mark?
Yeah.
So my first question, is anyone around? Because Dirk can just climb in
Yep.
right now without complication.
Climb in the box.
Yes.
All right, let's see.
What's the likelihood that anyone's around right now?
Very. If we establish that that's a job that somebody's doing, then yeah, pretty likely.
Okay.
Or
50-50.
Okay.
Oh no.
If that person ran away at the
I
sight
just
of the
think
two
maybe
zealots.
it's like an entrance to like it's a long tunnel
Mm-hmm.
and like we're just on the end of it
Cool.
and like the pusher is like way ahead.
Cool.
I don't know. Low no. That's a 10, right? That's a 1.
That's the lowest.
That's
almost
0,
that's
1.
the lowest. it
Nobody's
could go.
around. Great. So Dirk hitches up and gets into the pit of Starforge Black Iron, and Pym goes, "Oh, could you have given me some kind of notice?"
Sorry.
He starfishes in there.
Yep.
And Tessa and Wynn cover them in the Starforge Black Iron.
Yep.
Okay, so like we'll just like get in line and insist that like we're the ones pulling your wagon.
At that point,
Sit tight.
2 more zealots walk around the corner, ready to take their cart that has now been loaded with Starforged Black Iron. They share a glance with Wynn and Tessa, who have now boarded theirs. A quick nod, and they sit down on theirs.
Great.
Once all of the carts have subsequently loaded up, we're probably like what?
8
In a
out of
line
9.
We're like we're toward the back of the line.
Yeah, toward the back.
Zealots have saddled up, and around the stroke of midnight, they head off.
Tessa is at the reins because she knows horses. Wynn is to her right side. Pym and Dirk are covered in Starforged Black Iron, and we follow the silent train of horses and buckboards going along a very narrow mountain pass
Yeah.
it's harrowing because there's no guardrails whatsoever, of course. And as you look down, Tessa almost, steeled herself a little bit because it is a thousands of foot drop. 1,000-foot drop. 1,000.
It is exactly 1,000 feet of drop.
Down.
The only thing Pim and Dirk can hear from within their cart is the muffled howling of wind around them as they continue to ascend higher and higher. After what can only be what seems like to them, because they start to lose any aspect of time from within the box, but Wynn and Tessa have been taking the cart for a good 2 hours, maybe 1.5 to 2 hours, because these trips cycle every 3. You got empty ones coming back,
right?
They eventually arrive at, let's see, what would the entranceway look like that they arrive at?
I think that it really is the side of a mountain. It's very inconspicuous. It really just, and again, there's a moon this night, so they're really able to make out only a small amount of features here. There are some statues carved into the side of the mountain very roughly, but otherwise it looks very inconspicuous, except for the fact that there are more horses and buckboards coming out. They go in. There is a big entrance carved in, and there's stone doors, heavy metal doors that creak open. It requires the strength of 5 on each door to wrench them open in order to allow the train of buggies to come in. When they do, they are greeted with an impossibly high, impossibly huge entranceway that is all lit by torches. The torches, however, are of a green flame, very unnatural looking. There is archways carved in stone. Everything is decorated in a very geometric kind of fashion. The floors are impossibly polished marble. There is opulence everywhere, and it is clear that the horses are being led down this.
So we're going to like some sort of loading dock area off to the side of, like, there's the opulence and stuff. But would we be going to the same spot? Maybe not. Okay.
Yeah, maybe like we see that as we enter, and we're going off to the side. We see many hooded zealots. They keep their hands, their sleeves connected.
Nice.
As
It's
they
a
walk.
power move. It's a powerful gesture.
As they walk with their heads bowed. And their cloaks are covering their entire face. We smell incense. We hear muffled conversation. And we see way in the distance of, once again, this impossibly long hallway. We see what seems to be a high kind of platform with hooded figures clad in red this time. But that's all that they see. Tessa and Wynn only see a glimpse of this before, obviously, they need to, their horses just automatically know the route. Guide them right. And they are instead taken to a much more roughly, constructed
holding space.
Like tunnel. And they're going through this tunnel. That's what we're doing. We advance down the tunnel. And eventually come to a stop. And the zealots are dismounting. One by one, or rather 2 by 2. In front of them. And Tessa and Wynn, it's now the 2 zealots directly in front of them dismount. And it seems like they have to follow suit.
Okay, time to go.
Okay, but like, do we leave them?
Looks like we've got no, and they can see the front carts are beginning to have their gates unlocked. And the boxes with inside are being offloaded by robed workers and just offloaded and just dragged to where they need to get to.
Okay.
It would appear that let's see if the carriage drivers themselves are offloading the boxes,
Sure.
or if there are other workers doing that.
Great.
Hi, yes. They are.
They are. Okay.
So at this point, in following suit with what the other zealots are doing,
Yeah.
they loop around, rip the tarp off, unlock their gate, and Pim and Dirk's box begins to get offloaded.
Yeah.
Because it's
Extra heavy.
It's a little extra heavy, but Tessa and Wynn try not to struggle too much with it.
And do they put it on like a conveyor belt of some kind or some kind of wheeled cart just to... I don't think they'd be dragging because this stuff is heavy too. I mean, the ore itself is very heavy.
Yes, they get loaded onto what was built up like rails and like more mine carts. The boxes get loaded in, and at that point, the whole line is able to be pushed. It's like they, WD-40'd up the... And like one operator is able to push the line of raw material down a cart that kind of disappears like a baggage claim would into a chasm where you just see them disappear out of sight.
The zealots too, or wait, say that one more time. The zealots let the carts go. Okay.
Yeah, they let the carts go to wherever their destination is.
Okay.
And now Wynn and Tessa are standing there as the zealots then pass into the room of this loading dock area. And I would think that other zealots take their empty cart and pilot them out of here. Because they got to keep going, right?
What do they do? What do we do?
Play it cool. Okay.
I mean, are they talking to each other though? Because they'll be...
I think they silently they're going to try to sneak off from this group, unaware.
Okay.
I
But
think
they do push their cart. They push the cart that includes Pim and Dirk into the chasm because they have no other choice.
I don't think they did. I think they line them all up and then other workers just take them away.
Oh, that's what you said. Okay, great. So
At
Tessa...
this point, their control over Pim and Dirk is kind of gone. Yeah.
So Tessa, I'd love to play that out. So Tessa and Wynn hesitate for a second before the other zealot is ready to take their cart. And Tessa sort of holds on to it for a split second.
Yep.
Wynn shoots her a look before she realizes she has no choice but to let it go. And the zealot, giving a bit of a puzzled look, takes the cart from her.
Yep.
Tessa, as the group of what it's 18 zealots are now have now delivered their goods and are now going to go back, get an empty cart, saddle up their horses and go do it all again. She's looking, and I think I'm going to gather information to see if we can sneak off.
Cool. Yeah.
Can we sneak off
Perhaps
anywhere?
this is like a shift change that is happening where maybe not the same group of zealots are swapping carts or something like that.
Yeah. All right, this is plus wits. That's Tessa. And Tessa's a 2 in wits.
2.
Nope.
Meh.
Super don't.
Meh,
Super can't see anything. But on a miss, your investigation unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest.
Yeah, I'd like to roll on action and theme for that because
Okay.
I don't know what that would be at this juncture.
Sure. Let me roll for you.
Oh, I know what it would be at this juncture.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Oh God.
At this point, the worker that is getting ready to push all these carts forward and out of sight. Another figure with a torch enters through the opening and makes an announcement saying that we're doing it. Hang on. Let me find the voice for this guy. Boss wants another impromptu inspection. Pop them open. Let's see what we got. So the zealot is...
I thought they went into the chasm already.
Before this tough beans. So
Pim and Dirk's, we established, Pim and Dirk's cart went into the chasm.
Got it.
He took it and he went into the chasm. So whatever the cost of this is happens to Tessa and Wynn.
Happens to be separate?
Yeah.
Okay, in that point, I'm going to roll. Okay. I don't know what that is.
Sorry. Unless you had something amazing.
Nope.
I just think... I think
we
gone.
established that they moved out of the way.
Yeah.
Let's figure out what this is. 95. I don't know.
Okay. Great. I have something. So as they are, they have no choice. Tessa looks around. She does not see anywhere. I mean, they're in a shaft. They're in basically a tunnel.
Yep.
And there is nothing that they can do but follow the group. If they break off from the group, someone's going to notice.
Okay.
If they go into the chasm, someone's going to notice. There is no place to go. So they mimic the other zealots. They put their hands in their sleeves. They look down. And Tessa, exchanges a glance with Wynn, shakes her head, knowing that there's nowhere else to go but to follow them.
Yep.
They go back, and their horses and their carriages are waiting for them. The zealots begin to saddle up again until a red hooded figure comes.
Oh boy.
Holds his hand up and stops them.
Okay.
And says, "There will be no more returning today. It seems that our main distributor is slowing down in the mine, and we will require you all to stay here for this shift. You may return to your quarters, and you will report back here in 6 hours' time." And so the zealots are confused by this, but oblige. The a new bunch of zealots begin unsaddling the horses.
Yep.
And leading them back to wherever they hold them. And Tessa and Wynn are finding themselves just in the middle of this hallway.
Okay.
With nowhere quite to go.
I see. I have to sneeze. So sorry.
Oh no!
Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it
It
won't.
might happen. Wynn has to sneeze.
Wynn has to sneeze, which is that the dire threat?
Oh yeah, the dire threat.
Is that the dire threat created by the gather information?
Shoot.
Yeah, the party is split and they don't know where to go. There was no way out for them. What info were we trying to gather at first?
Where if we can hide, basically.
Yeah.
And we couldn't.
And they can't. So they now need to blend in and just go about their business. At that point, they follow a group of zealots into kind of the more ornate parts. And as they can see, they've begun to construct this chasm built into the mountain is starting to look more like a rectory. It's starting to look more, there's more like ritual or religious accoutrement that is everywhere. They see shrines located in places. They see long like tables meant for ritual with like ornate cloths laid on top of them with like bones and other implementations of ritual. They eventually follow the line of zealots as they approach their own like resting quarters, which for each of them are like little cells carved into the rock. It's like they each get like a little tiny dwelling. And Wynn pulls Tessa aside so they could have a quick little conversation. Okay, so that wasn't perfect.
We lost them. We literally lost them in the middle of this, what is it called? The Order? I don't even know where they are now.
Okay.
I have no way of finding my brother.
All right. Don't freak out. At this point, it just feels like we need to figure out a way to get down to where they are using all of this Starforged black iron.
Exactly. We need to find out where it's going and then just go there.
We shift focus.
Yes.
All of a sudden, Pim and Dirk have been in their cart for what seems like an eternity.
Uh-huh.
And they feel a thud as the cart hits the
Was
one
it
in
like
front
a
of it.
shoot? Was it like a roller coaster they were pushed on?
I think it was a bit of a slope.
Yeah, they were just sort of like yeeted onto like a slope that just was like a fun little minecart mini game.
At this point, after a harrowing trip down the baggage claim Donkey Kong mine shaft,
Yes.
they thud to the cart in front of them. And it's just darkness, and they don't hear anything.
Pim's, the back of her head slams against the cart. And you said they don't hear anything,
No.
right? After some time, one by one, they advance and then they thud. And then another minute goes by. And then they advance
Oh, boy.
and then they thud.
Oh, boy.
And so it seems like they are slowly advancing. I want to see if we can get out of this cart.
Okay.
Let's see if we can get out of the cart. If there's any clearance on either side, can we
Yep.
get out
Yep.
of the cart? It's a yes or no. It's a 50-50.
Cool.
For me. Low no. Is that 100?
That's 100.
That's 100. We can. We super can get out
Or
of
is
the
it
cart.
10?
That's 100 because this is my tens place.
So it's 10.
Oh,
so it's not...
Is double zero? No, double zero. Oh. What's 100? 99?
Maybe it only goes up to... What does D100 go
What's
up
a
to?
D100? This
where
was on the tens place, and this
there,
is on
now
the
we
zero.
expose that we don't know how a D100
This is a
works.
10. This is a 10.
Okay.
Low is no, right? Because
No, because if that was 100, then it would denote that that is 700. That is 900, right?
Yeah, right. So it's a 10.
Okay.
Correct. Golly.
Or it's up to interpretation. I don't know.
No, it's a 10.
Yeah.
We can't get out. So Pim ducks her head up, and Steg does too. And Steg hops on top of her, and she puts her hands up, and they are completely surrounded by walls. The rim of the cart there's only about an inch on either side of them.
Okay.
I would say, however, there is space above them. They're not completely sealed off, but on either side there is not.
Okay.
So
They're able to get out, or they're not?
they can get up. They can't get around. So they can go forward or they can go backward.
Okay.
We know that backward is a shaft that is a slope.
Yeah,
So we can't go back.
that way.
But let's say they both come up above.
Yep.
The God Almighty.
Okay, we gotta keep it down.
It seems like, and then as she says that, another the cart lurches forward again and then stops.
Okay.
I feel like they're being taken off of this chain one by one.
Yeah.
And it's only a matter of time before they get to us.
Okay. Well, is that necessarily a bad thing? Because if we get offloaded, it's probably either a storage facility for this stuff, or it's right where we need to be with who's working on it.
Right. I agree. Let's get buried again and stay hidden.
Okay.
And then I'm going to say that Steg is going to be her lookout.
Okay.
So Steg will appear, his tiny little head is just going to stay, right above the black iron.
Yep.
Granted, he'll look like a green rock nestled among the black, but he stays there and he's kind of the lookout. So they stay.
Yep.
And they continue this arduous, slow kind of pattern of once every minute they advance and then they stop.
Yep.
Slowly, they're able to see, from obviously they're buried in black iron, but, with only one layer deep, they're able to see a glowing light getting brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter coming from one direction, and that is forward until it gets very bright. And it's very clear that they have now, and the air changes, and it's very clear that they have now entered a cavern or a room where where these carts have
The
been
carts
headed.
are offloaded.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's say that from the final thud, they knew that because the cart hit a different material, not another cart,
Yeah.
but it was a different sound. It was more of a thud. That they're next.
Yep. At this point, Steg begins. You just hear a little like chirping sound coming from Steg.
Great.
Chirp, 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 chirp. And then at that point, you hear two like metal clang sounds, and you feel the cart that Pim and Dirk are inside begin to lurch.
Uh-huh.
And at that moment, two zealots have put metal, like hooked tools into the side of the cart and are going to tip it and yank it and offload the contents of what's inside.
One of the two
as
zealots.
Steg is like going like making, I can't make a frog chirp sound, but that's what he's making.
Great. So Pim commands Steg to retreat and bury back down. And she kind of knows what's going to happen next, because suddenly the two zealots hook the cart and tug, and it's heavier than they're used to.
Yep.
Wait a minute. Is this heavier to you?
And as he says to you, Dirk slams the lid off the box and makes a... this is going to be either into the fray or it's a face danger. He's trying to incapacitate these two.
Face danger.
Yeah.
Because they're not... We don't know if they're going to... I mean, I'm assuming they're going to engage with us, but let's face danger.
So this is with aggressive action. He is going to try and pop the top off the lid and have Pim and Dirk just incapacitate these two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just see if you're successful.
There we go. Yeah, that's a strong hit.
Baby.
That's a strong hit. So in popping the top off with such force, he's able to just blow the lid off of the cart that they begin to tip. It clocks both of them in the jaw and like stuns them, sends them reeling back. Before they can continue to react with their sticks, Pim has now dove into action as well, and the both of them wrap up both of the zealots in headlocks and chokeholds and just slowly begin to put them both to sleep.
And they do.
Lay
they
them on the floor.
thud on the ground.
Yep.
We have two zealots now with robes.
Yep.
Do we take their robes?
I think, let's
I
see.
think we have to, right? Because, I mean, obviously, it's not going to fit either of us, but we could do our best.
Yep.
So let's say we disrobe them and we put their robes on and their masks and everything.
Yep. Dirk is now standing there in a very form-fitting, his robe, it looks a bit more akin to like when you've got a bathrobe that's too small or it's like a track speed suit.
Yeah.
It's really hugging him in all the right places.
Yeah. And Pim's is just a dress. I mean, it is just, the sleeves are just way too long. And so she has Dirk help her by ripping the sleeves to make them a little bit shorter and then ripping the edge, the end of it to make it so that she's not swimming in the thing. So it fits a little bit better. And they both affix the metal masks to themselves.
Yep.
It's very clear that that this black iron is going, you know, I'm sorry. What were you going to? You were sort of painting the picture. They were taking the carts off, and were they putting them back on some more rails, or what are they doing with the black iron now?
I think we are in what is the storeroom of where they hold it.
Okay.
So what these zealots were working to do was basically the cart comes in, it gets tipped. The contents inside get sorted into this room. Cart gets tipped back, and it continues on its way.
Now, we were number 8 of 9. So it would follow that because they stopped the shipment, they stopped operations because I said so, that they wouldn't be expecting any more besides one more.
Yep.
Right? So Pim should have said all of that in character. Okay, so we were 8 of 9, right?
Yeah.
The chain of command, they wouldn't be expecting any more than this next one right here. So come help me get this other one off.
Okay.
And they do. And they store it. It wouldn't seem fishy for this whole supply chain to stop because they're... Wait, they don't know that. Tessa and Wynn know that.
Uh-oh.
Ah, crap. Well, they're just going to have to go on a leap of faith here.
Pim and Dirk, now clad in zealot robes, are in a big storeroom loaded full of not quite refined ingots yet, but black iron geodes.
Yeah. Suddenly, a door opens, and 2 more black-clad zealots come in, and they wordlessly take a cart full and wheel it personally out, and the door shuts.
Okay.
Okay. I feel like...
Let's just do the same thing.
Yes. We ought to tell them when they come back that they're relieved for the day.
Okay.
And we're going to take over their spots.
Let's do it.
Sound good?
Yep.
Okay. After some time, the door opens again, and dutifully, because these zealots are so dutiful, come back in. And maybe Dirk leads because he's taller and...
Good tidings, brother.
Oh, Dirk should not have led this.
It would appear as though, brother,
Oh, no.
yours and yours, thine,
Oh, no.
we've got it from here, brother. And then he
Make a
takes
compel roll.
he takes both his hands and just kind of rests them on the shorter shoulders of the zealot and says brother one more time.
You got to compel on that. I don't
Is that with Shadow? Am I lying?
You are
I'm lying.
convincing.
I'm convinced. He's using his convincing charm. Oh, that's a strong hit with a match. That is a strong hit with a match. As he rests his hands on the shoulders of the zealot, he hears back, "Yeah, I know, you idiot.
Oh!
Let's go. Hey."
Oh my god!
So he has rested his shoulders on. Luckily,
I can't believe
the team is back.
The team is back.
In wandering around,
Of course.
Wynn and Tessa were able to find their way into the storage room, and the 4 of them now are standing there as Dirk goes, "Brother, what?
I'm your sister, dimwad."
Oh, this is good."
And then they both take their
Everybody
hoods
takes
off.
their masks off.
How did you? I mean, this is out of control.
Okay.
Somebody rolled a strong hit with a match. All right. The last we heard was that, or rather, I don't know if you saw this, but 2 zealots came in and rolled a cart full. So it seems like we should both take one cart and roll it. In the only... Did you see where the other zealots were rolling the Starforged Black Iron?
It appears that the cart gets rolled into what they have built up via scaffolding is more of a factory workshop setting. And these geodes get refined down into more of a ingot, more of a craftable material. But it looks rough in there.
What do you mean?
There is, and I didn't get a look for too long, but it's just got what looks like just gray decay all over the machines. The smelter is just covered in this. There was soot in the mine, but this is like, there's like a silvery sheen to everything. And Tessa chimes in that it's our guess that this entire factory floor is just, it's blight as a result of whatever they're doing to it.
That makes sense. Okay, well, we have no other choice but to go there. Let's do it.
And now the 4 of them mask
pull their
up
heads.
again,
Yeah, pull their hoods up.
stand behind the cart, and begin wheeling it out toward the factory floor.
They doors are opened. They open doors, and are. Once they close the doors, they see the full, the full room that they're brought to. You said there's scaffolding going.
Yeah, it just kind of like what is built up in this room,
Yeah.
basically. There's huge furnaces. There are
Yeah.
incredibly like long tables with every sort of tool and implement. And as they continue to explore, they see that like Pym begins to recognize that like it looks like a factory where she spent some of her time. Like she's been in this room before.
I remember this now. Just beyond this is another room where we were kept to try to do our experiments. And it follows. It seems like what that gray matter gets worse and worse and worse as you go closer to where I believe the room is. Do you see that door down there? That beyond that wooden door should be the person responsible for doing the experiments, the person who is trying to smith this black iron.
And as she continues to say the words black iron, more hooded figures begin to flood into like kind of the factory floor, working on their materials. Din begins to start again. The sound of tools hitting metal begins to work.
And in the direction of those tools hitting metal, we see off to the side hundreds and hundreds of what appear to be anthropomorphic in the shape of a person.
Yeah, humanoid in shape.
A humanoid looking machination. Wrought of iron, wrought of cork for ligaments, and wood.
Yeah.
And some sort of substitute for rubber.
Yeah. These humanoid forms don't have a head, but they have a central torso body that arms extend out from, and it seems like the central torso is a bit more spherical shaped, bulbous a little bit.
And they are identical. They are seated and they are still. And Pym goes, "Oh my God. I can't say any more for us being overheard, but this is bad. I think they're trying to power those things. All right, we've got to get to that door as quickly as possible.
Okay.
We've got to get to the person who's responsible for this."
They, in a straight line, trying to do their best zealot walk, inconspicuous as the four weirdly combined, zealot body shapes ever, move their way across the factory floor.
Takes all types.
They walk in front of these machinations and approach the doorway.
They approach the doorway, and we're going to figure out how we get inside on our next episode.
We're in the heart.
What a clutch move on that strong hit to make it
I loved it.
Tessa and Wynn.
So helpful.
Because it's a strong hit with a match. It's got to be something great.
When it counts the most, Catherine, the dice smile on us again.
Do they? We'll see. See you guys next week.
See you guys.
Bye.